Hola, hola. I hope you guys can hear me good. My husband says I'm fine.
Yes, I know. They said hook it up.
Hook up what?
The sound.
Um, can you move over that way just a little bit, Daddy?
Why?
Because I need that fan. Unless you want me sweating.
That's fine.
Thank you, baby. Oh, okay. Oh, we made it. Barely, barely, but we made it. Um, I'm looking at comments to see if I don't see anybody, babe. Are we live? Oh, my computer is doing stuff. Oh, there we go. Hey, hey, you guys. Good evening. My energy is going to be weird tonight. Just letting you guys know ahead of time. Um, oh, let's see. We have Whitney, Rajani. How are you guys doing tonight? We are in the kitchen because my cooler is still not fixed in my workshop. I mean, we put another cooler, but it's a much smaller one. And apparently, we're under a heat dome right now. So that little bitty cooler isn't doing a whole lot to help out. So I feel like we haven't seen each other in a very long time. It's been a long time since we've been live, and they can probably hear you better too.
Maybe. We'll see.
I mean, because you could sit like right here. Um, Good evening, you guys. And Elizabeth, I've been saying your last name wrong the whole time. David told me. What is it?
Easy.
Geesey. Y'all just let me mispronounce y'all last names. Y'all don't correct me. I've been saying Michelle Adamus for probably 7 years at least, and it's Adamus.
Oh, okay.
She may have corrected me at one time, but I don't know. So I am a little crazy tonight. I feel like I have like three train stations because I have three major projects going on right now, and there are trains coming and going in each station. So my mind is like all over the place. So y'all pray for me that we make it through. I did not do a jar of water for my brushes, babe. So we'll do that in a few minutes, but I'm probably gonna need help with that. Um, I don't know. What are we working on tonight, babe?
I told you what I wanted.
I know. David just wanted me to just come out and paint and talk, but we did have some unfinished projects, so I figured we could do those. I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys down. If you guys are new, my name is Royce, and I'm the founder, owner, and operator of Royce Cycle Treasures. You guys also hear the voice of my fabulous patient husband, David Bell, in the background.
Look at how classy we are.
I know. Look at this is fancy for my water brushes, right? Land Lakes. That's like Tupperware, babe. You brought out the good Tupperware tonight.
I washed it.
You washed it.
There's no butter in it.
So I figured you guys we would finish up. We have two projects that we did not finish, but like they're almost done. Just done enough for us to finish them up together. And then I have two other projects up here that we can I think we can start and finish them tonight. They're super simple. And I wanted to answer any questions about the recycled leather look effects kit from Pintart because I posted a short today and I've been getting some questions in my messenger. So I figured we could talk about that because actually the one project we need to finish, we did that. So let me add another camera and
While you do that, I'll say hi to Girl Friday Crafts, Michelle Fensky, Mary Beth Martin, Araceli Escobar, Michelle Vest, Elizabeth Giese, Karen Nance, Crafting with Tracy Huggs and Jerry Peter. They're on YouTube. And on Facebook, we have Melissa Kiwi Gomez, Johnny Doyle, Karen Moyer, Melissa Bricker-Bizathin, and Dorothy Lage.
welcome, welcome. I need to.
Oh, Dorothy asked, can you show your suitcase? I have to go get
Oh,
it. I can get it.
girl. Okay, we'll show it at the end, Dorothy, because that's big, but we'll show it though. I'm not finished yet, Dorothy. I need to finish her mouth, it's not right, and the suitcase has like a lot of texture on it, so I got to figure out how to do lashes over all that texture. But if you guys follow my artwork, you know that I struggle with eyelashes anyways. But like everything else, I will just keep practicing until I get it right. So we did this project together. I don't know if you guys remember a few Sundays ago. Actually, it's probably been a lot of Sundays ago because we have not met together in a couple of Sundays. I was in Medina, New York last week. So we canceled last Sundays because it was close to my travel days. And then did we meet the Sunday before that?
No, because the air conditioning was out.
Oh yeah, we met. It was just briefly, right? Because the AC was like out.
Yeah.
That's when we discovered it was out. So I feel like it's been forever though. So I'm happy that you guys are joining us. I don't see the flea pop on yet. Um, so this is the piece we did together. I don't know if you guys remember. We used my leather effect kit from Pentart, but for this one we used tissue paper to make the texture around the edges, and then we decoupaged using the recycled. I think this is printer blocks is the name of this decoupage paper, and we were almost finished, but I still needed to trim it, and then we were going to figure out what to do with kind of the little channel around here. So I just have a little finger sander, and I'm breaking the rules because I'm going side by side, but I can't really go down because that channel isn't large enough. But it's okay. We can take care of this white edge that I'm making with either some dark wax or some glaze. I'm thinking I want to go over this whole project with some dark wax once we're done with everything.
A couple extra people have joined in. Kathy Hall, Terry Sorrow,
Hey,
Chris
Kathy.
Schmidt, Linda Ruiz,
Hey, Linda.
with whom we share a child.
Whom? Yes.
That is the Queen Tiana's great grandma.
Yes, Queen Tiana.
Yeah, she's a queen.
She
And
is.
Melissa Nadurek is here.
Hey, Melissa.
Has everybody seen Melissa's art?
Maybe don't do it.
I have to. It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, but I know Melissa. She will be cringing if you like shine a spotlight on her.
Not a spotlight, just saying. Just look, it's beautiful.
I'm trying, Melissa. But I agree, absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you know, I've known all along how talented she is. I'm not surprised at all. So I'm just like taking the paper off. I'm being super careful because I am sanding side to side, which if you guys have been with me, you've heard me say not to do that. Really, it's because if you have paper that isn't tacked down well, it'll lift up and you can tear that way. So it is not optimum, but this has also been drying for like 3 weeks. So I think that I'm good.
Crafting with Tracy says, enjoying your reels. Jerry Peters says, did you have a good time in New York?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I had so much fun. The weather was beautiful. Everyone in Medina kept telling me that I came at the perfect time because they get like a small window of beautiful weather. And I guess I was there for it because it was gorgeous. And of course, you know, Lynn's shop is beautiful. I got to go in the basement and I got to go upstairs. And, you know, y'all know I'm crazy. I'm like taking pictures of distressed walls upstairs. I thought I was crazy. And then I saw some stuff from Lynn and I noticed that she had taken pictures of the same walls that I took pictures of. So I was in good company with the love of the texture on the walls. There were some walls where the plaster was peeling away. There were some walls where you could see like the antique wallpaper peeking through the old plaster. Absolutely beautiful. And I also scored some really good stuff too. Poor Megan. She's shipping. She'll probably be shipping for the next month, trying to get everybody's stuff out. So what do you guys think? I think the leather is, I mean, it looks believable, right? And I like to do layers. You guys will notice that every time I do a different every time you guys see me using this kit, because we're using the same products over and over again, all I'm doing really is adjusting the colors for us to be able to create different color leathers. And also we're using different ways to apply texture. So the reel I posted today, I used modeling paste to make that texture. And on this one, we used just regular Dollar Tree tissue paper. We crumpled it up and we decoupaged on there. I love doing this look over texture because it really allows you to layer on. Let me see if I can get layer on different colors. So you guys can still see that gold underneath there, right? It doesn't disappear. And being able to see all the different colors is really what gives this depth. So it just doesn't look like a flat brown. And then this was the book box that we did together. We decoupaged one side and we put a gilded transfer over it. Can you guys see that? And then we did, this is from the bookish mold from IOD, and we needed to be taller. So these two pieces are pieces that we cut off, and then we just added them to the top so that we could get like a full spline over the whole box. And we did the leather look here. So you guys can see this looks different from the tray. And then here, we actually did some embossing over the modeling clay using stamps. And so we played around with that. And this look is a little bit darker. I like the camel leather look, but I know that I'm trying to do something a little different each time that we use the kit so that you guys can see all the options. But how fabulous did this edge turn out? I want to play with this some more because we just embossed this using some IOD stamps, and then we went in and applied some gold, just like the old books that are embossed and gilded, right? And the modeling paste is what we use for this one. And we didn't have to add texture to our molds because they already have texture. So, but what should I do with this channel? I don't know what to do with that. It's white. I feel like black would be easier, but I don't even know if I have any black paint. See, baby? That's what happens when I'm out of my shed. I have some black primer. Let's do that. I have some black gesso from Pintart. I'm just going to use that. We're going to make it work. We're going to have a make it work moment, like Tim Gunn says on Project Runway.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, well, he doesn't anymore, but he did, baby. David is so heartbroken that Tim Gunn is not on the show anymore, that he won't even watch with me. So I'm just going to paint this black. I think, right? This jet black is bothering me. I feel like I need some like almost black, not jet black. So I'm going to take some of the gel that we used in the leather and you guys can see over there. I'm going to mix this with the black. Look, I'm being a mad scientist for real tonight, y'all. Can you open that for me, please, Daddy? Do we have any questions, baby?
Nope. Well, Angie, I think, came in a little late. She asked, how'd you like New York State?
So I got to see Buffalo, a little bit of Buffalo, and then Medina is northwest. It was absolutely beautiful, so green and lush, which is the exact opposite of living here in the desert. My hair and my skin, I don't know if you guys saw on my personal page, my SpongeBob meme, which I think you have to be of a certain age to get that meme. But there's an episode where SpongeBob goes to visit Sandy in her dome where there's no water, and he's like cracking up, and he's trying to pretend like he's like not having a problem. Anyways, that's where that meme is from. It's from a SpongeBob reference. So I know that my Gen Xers will get it, but I didn't know if anybody else would, or younger people may get it too. So I'm just gonna mix this black in with my Leisure glaze, so I can get something that's like almost black, and so it's not like stark black, right? And you guys know that when you're trying to make something look cohesive, mixing an existing color, like I use that glaze here, so mixing it with this black is actually going to make it look more cohesive. And I'm going to have to be careful. So New York was wonderful. I did find out that my color course that I've created is a 2-day masterclass. You cannot do it in a few hours. So for those of you who attended, I will be recording the full class, and I will make sure and touch base with Megan so that you guys will have access to that. I think everyone who came to the class had a good time. I'll be honest, I thought that maybe 12 people would sign up for my class. Yeah, we had 28 people. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that those who came walked away feeling more confident about color and their ability to mix it, and that they had a good time. I should have pulled, I had one customer who has shared her wall hanging, and I was going to share it with you guys today. I'll get my phone and find it in a minute. I'll load it up here so you guys can see it. But it was so nice to be, it's always so much fun to be in company of creative people. And I was telling Lynn, we live on the West Coast and we're really the young part of the country, right? Um, Historically, when you look at how late in our country's history that people came out West. And oh, thank you, baby. And just being there on their main street with all the beautiful architecture and even riding like outside of the city proper of Medina and seeing all the lush green and these beautiful barns, I really am inspired. And it's kind of part of my problem today. My mind is not resting. It refused to settle a little bit.
Jenny Radel Long says you're using one of her favorite papers.
I do love this paper too.
And Terry Soro says, had a great time, love the class.
Thank you, Terry. I hope so. Um, that was my first time teaching that class. I mean, I've taught color before, but I wrote that curriculum specifically for you guys. Um, and so I hope that it was helpful. And at the very least, it made you look at your colors differently. Somebody did tell me, though, that when she was riding around, she was looking at the buildings and stuff, and she wasn't, she was just not noticing the undertones of the building. So it wasn't just a blue building, She's like, oh, that has some green undertones or some red undertones.
Johnny says, would love to see the color class.
I think I'm going to record it, but I also want to do it in person. I don't know. I mean, I don't. It doesn't have to be exclusively one or the other. I think that there is. I can make it accessible to more people if I record it, right? Obviously, and then doing it in person. We had experiments for every single lesson, which is why we didn't make it through everything. But I do think that being able to do an experiment with every lesson has tons of value.
Flea says, watching on Facebook, not sure you can see my comments over there.
Hey, Flea, I was wondering where you were, girl. I was like, where's Flea?
The only one I saw was that you had missed our times together. That's the only comment I've seen.
Oh, that you've seen so far. I know, my poor membership. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for us to get together this Wednesday. I'm trying to remember what I'm doing though. Did we finish the glass plaster, right? And we were gonna do the other kind of plaster. I think that's where we were. We've been going through all different kinds of ways to add texture. And so we've been experimenting with different products. Um, and when I say experiments, like it's literally experiments. Like how do they behave when you apply them thick versus thin? How do they behave when you add color? Different products to add color respond differently to each of the plasters that we've used so far. So you guys know I'm all about texture.
Dorothy Lage says, let's do the color class in person again, or she would take it again.
I feel like it's one of those subjects that you could take over. I mean, there's just so much to learn. And Dorothy, you've been with me through 3 of my sessions now. Really? I hope. Well, because she's been to both of my retreats. They're like mini sessions at the retreat. I'm just doing enough so people could mix their own color palettes.
Right.
So she was in Medina. So that would be 3. So 2 of my retreats.
Oh, I was going to say, because she was also in the one that nobody has seen.
Oh no, that wasn't color though. That was furniture painting.
Yes.
That's a whole nother discussion, babe.
That one still needs to come out.
I did upload it inside of my membership. I uploaded a portion, and I did make a portion of it available, like how to blend successfully. And it's a low cost class. I think it's like $29. So I do have a portion of that class available. And then inside the membership, I think I put furniture prep, that section of it inside of the membership for my peeps.
Kathleen Nuva says the black edging really sets it off.
Right? I'm trying to be careful though, because I want it to look clean. You guys noticed how I turned my board around? When you're working on your pieces, you really want to try to work from different angles, because otherwise there'll be things that you just won't catch. I've done a piece of furniture and missed a whole section before, because I didn't look at it from a different direction, which is not a big deal. But if you're doing artistic finishes and you have to come back, it can be kind of hard to remember what you were doing. And I'm just going through, I'm trying to blot out any white that I see here. Now, I think that black is good. I don't want to keep messing around because I'm going to mess around and mess something up. Which everything is sealed. The beauty of sealing your work is that when you go in, like with the next step, and if you get paint on it, it's easier to wipe it up if the work that you've already done is already sealed. So that's one of the reasons why I like to do isolation layers between steps, because it does give you a little bit more flexibility as far as being able to clean up any mistakes or messes that you might make. And so I think that looks good with the black edging. And you guys see that white right on the edge of the paper? That is just from, the white is underneath the paper. And sometimes when you sand the paper back, you can see that white. And so all I would usually do to handle this is to go over it with like some dark glaze or wax, either one. But I have this glaze here pulled out, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that. And I'm going to use my fingers. I said on one of my Monday lives that I don't like finger painting, but I keep finding myself finger painting over and over again. And the cool thing about this is that that paint under here is not sealed, right? So it'll absorb this brown really well. Daddy, will you hand me a paper towel? I'm sorry. I knew I was going to forget something. You know what? I'll just use this. It's okay.
No, it's okay.
No.
I get it.
I got it.
I got to put stuff.
I know. That's why I saw you. So I was like, oh. Thank you, baby. And so that paint, it's just going to absorb that brown. And I'll show you guys the difference here in just a second. I did get a little bit, it dried up a little bit here on my paper. So I'm just, which I don't mind, but it was like a line and I don't like that. So now you can see here, right? It disappears as opposed to here where you have that white line on there. So we'll go all the way around and we'll just do that.
Dorothy suggests an edge of gold next to the black.
That will take a steady hand that I do not have, Miss Dorothy. But yes, that would be beautimous. Some of the ladies with that fine liner, they have some steady hands. They can make dots and lines like nobody's business. But that is not my zone of genius. But yes, that would be really pretty to have some gold on here. And everywhere I look now, I'm seeing opportunities to do a different type of leather look. I was cleaning up to get ready for tonight because we're in the kitchen. And I had a bucket under this table with some rolls of embossed wallpaper. I think we were selling those on Whatnot. I think that's why they were under there.
Yes.
And I thought, oh my gosh, now I got to do it, right? I'm going to glue some of that embossed wallpaper down and then do the leather look on top of that and look like tooled leather. In my mind, that's what I see. So like if you like Western decor, that would be fabulous. Okay, So this piece is done. All I have to do now is just, I'll probably do another like layer of sealer over everything again, just to make sure it's durable, and add my handles on here. And then she's all done. What do you guys think? Industrial goodness, right? I'll paint that black, I think, underneath. Or maybe I'll decoupage. I don't know.
Dorothy says you can use a gold Posca pen, Posca.
I know. I still have to be steady-handed though. But yes, Dorothy, that would be a fabulous idea. I have some gold pens. I just don't know if I could be like really steady going around that edge. I did good to get this painted without getting black paint everywhere. So that's our tray. I'm gonna set that aside. That one is done. I'll put the handles on. I gotta find them first, but I'll put the handles on, and then I'll post some pictures of that one. We had another piece that we started. Rajani brought me this beautiful cheese box. Look, she came to my yard sale to buy stuff, and she brought me a gift. It was like a double blessing. So all we did, we decided to leave the base, right? Because it's beautiful. So I really didn't want to mess with the base. And I need to glue in the bottom because it's falling out a little bit. But I figured out that it was glued from the side, like it's pretty thick. So I am just gonna get it all the way to the edge, like that. And then I'll just nail it from the side and it'll be perfect. But we decoupaged using the new fall, como se dice, fall celebration decoupage paper. Let me see, I have a picture of that paper right here. And this is from the new release. I didn't do a ton of holiday for this release. I just feel like sometimes when you do specific holiday, it can be limiting as far as like how long the use of the paper lasts. So this is the fall celebration. I love this paper so much. There's like yummy golds and oranges and violets in this paper, and you see all my little color swatches in there. I'm obsessed lately. You guys will probably see them on a lot of different papers lately, but we use this piece, and I think that sometimes when you would buy these things, there would be advertisement on the top. So that's why I chose this piece. And we use the pattern, which is this is an entire sheet of the fall plaid. And so we use the fall plaid around the edge. And I was really thoughtful about the scale of this plaid. I wanted it to be small enough so that you could absolutely use it on smaller projects. But if you use it on larger projects, it's not so tiny that you can't see the pattern. So I really do think that it came out to be the perfect scale. But we had this white edge that we were going to deal with. And when I was sanding off the paper, I realized that the paint was sanding off. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try to sand off the rest of that paint. And then we can go over the whole thing with some dark wax. And that will make it look more aged, because to me, it looks disjointed, right? This looks old and then this looks like bright. So we'll get rid of that paint and use some dark wax. And then I think that this project will be done. You're awfully quiet tonight, babe.
There are no questions at the moment.
No questions? You don't have any random questions to ask people?
Well, not that you want me to ask.
Why? What kind of questions did you have in mind? I've been fussing too much. That's what he's saying.
No, one of my suggestions for today was that Royce just paint, because she's been finding difficulty finding time to just paint and talk and answer questions and do that sort of thing. And she's like, yeah, but that's not what this is. This is, decoupage, and this is what we work on. So I'm just, if I can ask the question, it's, would you be okay with that? Or does that not meet what you want from a Sunday night?
Oh, you doing problem-causing questions. I thought you were going to ask me something about the Beatles.
No. No weather. Walls and more. Did you miss Royce, David? Yes, I could not sleep.
Hey, Reba.
And my back hurt. And it was gone when she got home, but now it hurts again.
Does it hurt again today?
Today, no.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on.
See that? I was able to sand off all that white paint. And so now we can go in with some. And you could use glaze or wax. I just feel like this piece wants to be waxed. That's what it's telling me. And we already did a good layer of sealer over the top of this. So I'm confident that I'll be able to wipe that wax back and not have it absorb too quickly into the paper. So if you're decoupaging, and let's say you decoupage and you don't seal your paper, you don't want to go over with a dark or glaze or wax without sealing your paper first, because those fibers are going to absorb that pigment really quickly, and you're just not going to have a lot of control. But if you make sure everything is sealed first, you're just able to wipe back easier, and then that way you have more control over how dark your project gets. I know I grabbed my wax brush, but I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is.
Angie, what fun did you have, David, while Royce was away? Literally none. It was supposed to be my slow week at work, and I had to work every night she was gone.
Poor
I had
baby.
one night where I was just alone, so I did the dishes and laundry.
I know I came home, the dishes were done, the laundry was done. Actually, I noticed you cleaning the dishes every morning.
It's been my new morning routine.
I know, I like it. I try to clean some dishes. You guys, I'm a terrible housekeeper. Wife's confession here. David did not marry me because I'm a good housekeeper. See how much, I don't know, this looks better. It looks like it belongs to that bottom. That light from that window is making me crazy. But you guys know what I think. So you guys see that? How it just makes it look where it doesn't look brand new. But because this paper was sealed, I was able to wipe that wax back and it didn't get absorbed readily into the paper. You guys ever feel like the Lord does certain things in your life to remind you? Like, I feel like I'm being reminded of where my business was 5 years ago. And not even just because the air is out in the shed, I'm having to be in the house, but I mean, even like difficulties at the warehouse. Not difficulties, but just things at the warehouse. And we have a lot of changes that are going to be coming to Recycle, which you guys may not even feel, but for me, as far as operations, it's going to cause me, I have to release a lot of control over stuff. Oh, Lord. It's going to be good, though.
We have some questions.
Yes.
Jerry Peter, what sealer did you use? That's number one. Crafting with Tracy Hugs. Is it the same when using paint inlays? And then, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Then Fogliano or Foliano, I'm never sure how to pronounce it. I know we spoke about this at Lynn's retreat. Question, did you seal the page in the journal before applying the pastel grounds? And I will write it down so I do not forget.
So for the pastel grounds, yes. Whenever I decoupage, you guys, just out of habit, I'll apply the paper and go right over the top. So like this one, we use the Pent Arts decoupage varnish and glue. So I glued the paper down and I varnished it with this product. However, you can use whatever you have. If you're using acrylic medium to decoupage, you can use that to seal over your paper. For crafts, if you're using furniture, you really want to use some type of varnish, because the acrylic medium is fine for like crafts, but it doesn't offer the kind of protection that you get from varnish. And if you're using like a water-based varnish, if maybe you have chalk paint and you already have a water-based varnish that you use with that line, then you can absolutely use that to both glue your paper down and to seal your paper. So to answer your question, we decoupaged and sealed everything, let that dry, and then we put the pastel grounds on top of that. And then we went, after the pastel ground was dry, I went in with the pastels to color that in. That was such a fun project. And on Mondays, and I will be live Monday, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do a game where I draw 4 random prompts and I have to include them in my project. And that day, those prompts led me to that project. And it's so interesting because I don't know that I would have ever done that otherwise. And so I'm super excited about being able to incorporate pastels with the paintable recycled decoupage papers, and I really do hope to do some more projects. So I did that in the journal page first, but then we also did a clipboard, right? Because once you practice something and you figure out how to make it work, you can apply it to anything. It doesn't have to stay in your journal. So I feel like, right, these go together better now. So it's not so bright, and it just looks better than when it was super bright and new looking compared to the brown fox. Super cute, and you see where I sanded that edge to reveal the wood, and the wood looked really light, but the dark wax just stained that too. So now we have this dark edge all the way around, and we have our advertisement right on there, and we still get to maintain that beautiful patina from this really old cheese box. I love this so much. And this is something I can use this as a riser. I can store something in here. I love projects like this because they're useful, right? I can use this for several different things. And so Rajani, thank you so much for my box. I appreciate it.
Steel Roots Market says, just getting here, missed what paper it is.
This one is from the new recycle from the new release, and it is the fall celebration decoupage paper. You guys, well, let me see, what corner did I use? I used that top piece, this top corner up here, and then around the edges, we use the fall plaid decoupage paper around the edge for this piece. And so just a tiny piece, right? I know you guys love the master boards because there's so much that you get to do with them, right? So I use this tiny piece, and I still have the rest of my master board left. And then we use a tiny piece of that plaid, and I still have tons of that left over as well.
Let's see, Dorothy, how many B movies did you binge, David, while she was away? I started one, but
you didn't get to finish.
I didn't even get close to it because one of the days she was gone was election night.
Yes.
And in my field of work, that's a big deal.
That's why I had to drive myself to the airport.
It really is. So, Dorothy said, Sam's leaving for California in a week. He's cooked her so much food in advance.
Oh my gosh.
Sam is the cook.
He is. He's a chef.
Let's see.
So that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
He says, I'm embracing my own style, understanding it's not others and may not be popular.
You know what? That's the beauty of what we do, though, right? I mean, have you guys ever gone out to buy something and you're like, oh, that's beautiful, but only if it was, whatever, because we all have like our personal styles. And so when we're learning how to do processes, right? Like I really do teach, like I do projects because I know you guys love projects, but really in my heart, I want to teach processes. And so I feel like when you learn how to do something, you can apply it however you like based on your own personal style. And that's the beauty of what we do. And I did want to talk about something. I told David I was going to do a shameless plug today because when we're talking about that, we've been doing a lot of leather work lately. And can you guys see? You guys can't really see behind me. Like my personal style, right, is like apothecary, industrial. It was dark academia before dark academia was a thing, I guess would be a good term to like summarize my personal style. And so along with the leather, something that I love is texture. And when we were cleaning up to get ready for our live tonight, I found these sample boards. So I just want to share some of them with you. These are sample boards from my texture masterclass, which is available at recycledacademy.com. So if you're wanting to learn how to work with texture and like, I started out when I taught this class live, it was a patina course, but I ended up teaching so many different things in the course that I ended up calling it a texture masterclass rather than just a patina course because we learned like so many different ways. Oh, this is from the decoupage class right here. Believe it or not, let me see if I can tell. The paper ends like, I don't know where the paper ends. I think the paper ends right. Oh yeah, I can see it. The paper ends right here. So like in my decoupage class that we just did, one of the things I spent a lot of time on is teaching you how to blend your decoupage paper when it's not large enough. Anyways, I found these sample boards, so I figure I'd do a shameless plug for Royce Academy. Oh, I left my favorite board up there because I use it for decor. I'm debating if I want to pull it down or if I'm gonna break everything if I do. It's okay. We'll leave it. That sample board right there behind the recycled sign. Do you think you can get it without like?
No, but I'm gonna try.
Oh Lord, he gonna try, y'all. But our next project, this is something that I've had for.
This one right here.
Yes. Oh, let's do this one first. Sometimes you have a project and you don't need to do a ton to it. Oh, good job, baby. So this is my favorite sample board for that class. And you guys know why, right? It's just super yummy texture. And I want to say this is like 4 different ways to create this texture. And then, of course, we even worked on how to get your drips to really show up when you use them. So recycledacademy.com, I do have classes on there, including my texture course. But our next project, what time
Hold on,
is it?
can we play catch up?
Yes.
So for everybody, I'm ignoring your questions and comments and stuff. I'm just trying not to interrupt Royce.
Okay.
Crafting with Tracy Hugs says sealing inlays before waxing or glazing.
Absolutely. You always want to seal your inlays. So sealing your inlays, I know, I'm sorry, my mind is like wanting to start at the beginning. I remember when IOD came out with transfers. And I remember I was doing a desk because I had challenged myself to go live for 30 days and I was working on the same desk for the whole time. And I had a larger transfer and I was rubbing it on. And I remember my friend Carla, like, I would never like rub on something that long. Like, that's just ridiculous. And I just remember how there was some trepidation around using transfers. But now, like, everybody uses transfers. They don't even think about it. And when IOD came out with the paint inlays, it's something new. And so I feel that same kind of trepidation for people because it is something new. But the paint inlays are absolutely gorgeous. And they actually give you, like, there's a place for transfers. But like if I was going to put something on my Arizona porch, that probably wouldn't be the best place for a transfer. But the paint inlays, once you put them on the surface, they're just like paint, right? The trick or the challenge I think people are having is how to seal your inlays. So the best way to seal your inlays, you guys, is to just spray something on there, right? Because you're not contacting the inlay. I know that PintArt has a mister that you can spray on there. You can use like a spray can, that you buy at the store, sealer on there. And you can brush on a sealer too. You just have to be super soft when you do it so the paint doesn't move around. But after you've sealed your inlay and your sealer is absolutely dry, yes, you can go over it with the wax. And that way it's the same thing. Because it's sealed, you'll be able to wipe that dark wax back easier and it won't absorb into the paint readily. And sometimes, like on my leather look, I did a light side and a dark side. I don't have the sample because I did it when we were in Medina. It was so fun going live with Megan on Monday. On the dark side, for instance, I didn't seal first. I went right over with my, oh my gosh, in my brain, I said, don't forget the word. And then I forgot the word. I went right over with the glaze because I actually wanted the paint to absorb it because I was creating a dark finish. But when I did the lighter finish, I sealed it first and dried it and then went over with the glaze because I didn't want it to absorb as quickly. So it's not necessarily bad. It's just something you want to be cognizant of so that you can make decisions based on what you want your ultimate outcome to be.
Both Lynn and Megan are here.
Hey, Megan. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to get Megan a list. So, y'all, look, I've been saying for like probably at least 2 years that I wish I had a Megan. And so I have Megan now, but I'm not good at using her right. I'm sorry, Megan. I was supposed to send her a list of things I was going to use, but I couldn't make up my mind what I was going to do. So I did not send her a list. So for those of you who like supply lists and I drive you absolutely crazy because I never have one, Megan will be helping me moving forward so that she can make sure that she has a supply list with the links for you guys.
Megan says you can also brush on a solvent varnish with no risk of reactivating pigments.
Oh, on the inlays? I didn't know that. Ooh, I'm gonna play with that. So this is gonna be a shadow box. So I just want to put some bricks in the back. And I have these little, I'm gonna show you guys the box. So this is one of my boxes that George has built for me out of our scrap wood. And I was gonna do the bricks on the outside, but look at this wood. Like, why am I gonna cover that up? I would never. Like, I love that. So I'm not gonna decoupage the outside, but it will be like a shadow box for me. So I'm gonna cover the back in bricks so that it will look good. And I can't make up my mind whether I want it to be a tall shadow box like this or if I want it to be wide. But I think I've settled on it being wide so that I can build and I can display some of my items in here. So I digress. I have these little wood pieces here on the end. I think I'm just gonna paint them and then decoupage in between. Yes.
Crafting with Tracy says that demo with Megan was super helpful.
Oh, good.
Robin Song says we all need a Megan.
We do. Because, we creatives, like, we love creating stuff, but maybe not the most organized, you know. And so I was struggling today because I had a project that I wanted to do, but then, anyways, I couldn't make up my mind. So here we are with multiple small projects. I will show you guys. We're going to do it, but maybe not today. So I've been getting a lot of questions about the leather effect and what you can do with it. And so I saw this gentleman and he does like art with books. And he took the book spines and he like attached it to just like a board, just different random pieces of spines. And it ended up being such a beautiful piece of art. So I want to replicate that with the bookish mold. But the reason why I want to do this is so that we can make like several different kinds of leather look together. Um, but we'll do this another day. I couldn't land on this today. And so this will be a project that we'll do together in the future. That way we can do several different leather looks and then we can bring them all together to create. I want to do 2 of these though, so it makes sense. Like not like a diptych, but just like a pair. I think that would be so pretty, right? Anyways, so I was going to do this today and then I couldn't settle on that, which is why, Megan, I did not send you a list. So this is what we're doing. We're just finishing projects today. That's why David wanted me to just come on and work on some of my representational art pieces, which are mainly portraits. I don't know why, but that's just where my head is right now.
Well, and it also lets people know that there's room for multiple different things within this world.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus, give you a chance to talk about the other artists you're talking to. Because there's one artist in this most recent release, right?
Yes. So
besides you.
Yes. Bree Bordeaux was our guest artist for our most latest release. And you guys, I know that I show you guys pictures online. I'm going to show her work again. This is the cherub. And I don't know if you guys were with us for our Christmas in July collaboration on YouTube. But Robin, what is her business page? Somebody help me. She does a lot of fabric and she did a denim jacket where she used this piece and it was fabulous. And then another work by Bree is this one, which is the owl. And this is Bree's owl. And then we have this one, which is a project block. It has the cherub and the owl on it. And then the last one is Bree's horse, which, her work is like the energy, like you can just see the energy and the work. I feel like when I look at her work, she feels confident when she's painting because like everything is so energized and so colorful. And I've always wanted to bring on a graffiti artist. And I know that her work isn't graffiti, but to me, it feels like it. And so we were so excited to have her this quarter. And I'm really working on having a guest artist every quarter. And right now, I am in conversation with the photographer. She's an artist. I'm trying to get her to give me her art, but we'll see what happens. She's an artist and a photographer from Utah. And then I have another artist who is currently in Switzerland, but I believe she's from New Zealand or Australia. I can't remember. And then I have another artist who's in New Zealand. And so every quarter we will have like a little mini collection from an artist. And it has been so exciting just visiting with them and hearing their stories. And the fact that they're willing to share their art with us is just, I don't know, it makes me happy. But I don't want to talk about them specifically yet, babe, until, you know. Look, I didn't bring scissors, so this is some scissors I picked for my whatnot sale. So we're going to use these. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. And I'm probably going to be set up in my kitchen for a while, so we got to figure out what to do with that window, babe. But that sun setting is like really bothering me. It's messing up my light. Our window in our kitchen faces west, so the sun is setting, and the lower it gets, the more light floods into our kitchen, which I love normally, but not when I'm trying to do a live. And this is the new brick and mortar decoupage paper, and I was so careful about the size of these bricks because I wanted them to be large enough to make sense. Like if you wanted to put these on a drawer front, they would be like really good. But you could also use them with smaller projects, right? And they would still be scaled appropriately. And the same thing with the wood slats. And so this is the brick and mortar. And then I'm really loving splitting them in half this way. I feel like it gives you more options. If I wanted to go this way, for instance, I could have cut and then stacked my bricks and I could have still covered this, right? But having it long like this means that if I have a toolbox or, something longer, that I do have a continuous piece that I can use on that larger and longer item. So you look at this is like 29 inches by like 15 and a half or 15.25. So like 15, by 29 of bricks. And then the same thing of the slats on the other side. So you guys tell me how you like, because normally when I do project blocks, I do them in blocks, but I do like having this because I know so many of you decoupage toolboxes and boxes, and so that's why I kind of switched that up a little bit.
Ellen Lynn says you hit the nail on the head talking about creatives. Megan Fuller says the most important part is showing up.
Yes.
Tucson Youngsters needs to order more paper. I think she saw something she liked. Chris Schmidt says watching you work on your paintings would be educational, informative, and helpful. Dorothy Lage, are you considering Amanda Trought Trout?
I don't know, Dorothy. If there's an artist that you guys think would be like really nice, send me their like, most of the artists are over on Instagram. So send me their Instagram. And for me, it's been easy to reach out to artists. Like I belong or I am in a certain ecosystem because of the program that I'm in for my art. And so one of the things that's made it easier, before it was really hard. I had Lexi Grinzer as my art director because she had existing relationships, right? Which made it a lot easier for us to reach out to artists. And when I was reaching out on my own, it's hard because it's like cold calling somebody. But being in this program, I've been able to reach out to like my mutuals in the space, which makes it a lot easier. But if you know an artist, absolutely send me their link. I mean, I'm not saying no. I misted my paper. If you're new here, the misting method is my favorite. I had a comment left on one of my really old videos that I thought was funny. And she's like, you should really mist your paper because it makes your paper expand so you won't get wrinkles. That just lets me know that my message is getting out, baby. Whenever you're putting out a message and it comes back to you, that means that you've done a good job getting it out there. I just thought it was funny. So I'm going to put down an anchor row here first. And this first row is just going to help me make sure that my paper is going to lay down exactly the way I'd like. Because once it's anchored down, it won't shift or move. And I can continue doing the rest fairly easily. And I'm using PintArt's decoupage varnish and glue. But again, you guys know if you have acrylic-based products on your craft table, you can absolutely use like your matte medium or your gloss medium. And if you're someone who has like chalk-based paint or mineral-based paint, and you have a water-based sealer that you use, you can absolutely use that to adhere and to seal your decoupage paper. I have the brands that I love, but you guys know I'm always going to be honest with you about your options.
Lourdes, Lourdes in Georgia, I think. David, where can I find a live where Royce created a leather look? May have been when she was with Lynn and Medina.
I've actually done a couple now. Megan, if you're in the comments, can you put a link for me, por favor? I did one Monday. That one was super fun. I would say it was concise. It was a 2-hour live though, but it was. We did a lot of other stuff too though. And then there was also the live where we did I cut my paper too short. I'm gonna have to do some painting. I'm gonna have to do some blending, y'all, but it'll be okay. Or maybe, yeah. I'm fired. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and decoupage the rest of this down. Actually, it's kind of long. I think I'll do it in sections. One of the things with the misting method, I get a lot of questions about decoupaging like larger items. And it is easier if you just kind of mist as you go, rather than trying to mist all the paper. And then you're like trying to handle a big old piece of wet tissue paper. So this piece is not huge, but it's longer. So I'm going to kind of miss it though. And I want to make sure that I go all the way back to where my last place was so that I don't end up with an area that doesn't have.
Jerry Peter says, Erica from Artist Till Death is it's an artist she recommends. Megan put the link up. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Megan, like, it is Sunday. I'm supposed to be off. How was the fair?
No, it got canceled from flash flooding.
Oh.
She was doing some apple farming or something.
Oh.
But she said it got canceled. Somebody asked her, and she said,
"Oh, it got canceled." Oh man. You know what? We have Angle Orchard apples and peaches at Thrifty's, babe.
Oh,
I think we need some of those.
It is up on the mountain.
Yeah, we have an apple orchard on our mountain. Well, it's an orchard. Obviously, they have peaches too. It's peach season right now. But I did see some kind of apple too, some kind of crispy apple or something.
I have no idea.
I saw it. I love the fact that our local grocer, so we are still blessed to have a local grocer, and they actually carry, if you think about it, they carry quite a bit from local people, local brands that are made by local people.
Yeah, they would carry more if they could.
Yeah.
They've been really good about that. It's what's required of a maker to get in a grocery store. It's a lot stricter than just selling tamales out of the trunk of your car.
It is. But given the opportunity, they provide it. Because I want to say the jerky guy is back in 50s now, that he has this USDA.
I believe so.
And I can't think of the name of his business, but
that
is it Best Damn Jerky? Oh, okay.
The Best Damn Jerky.
Yeah.
Megan says our apples aren't quite ready. We're going to help some friends thin their orchard today, but there were flash floods.
Oh, okay.
Dorothy says, I just noticed you did not paint it white or primer before decoupage.
You know what? There was already white paint. It wasn't like bright white, but it was light paint on there. And so I just took advantage of that and didn't prime it. And because the board was painted already, I think I'll be okay. And this is likely going to be grungy. So if I get a little bleed through, then, it'll be fine. It'll just add to the charm. So you see that color right there, Dorothy? It was already pretty light. It wasn't a bright white, but it was close to white. And so now, like, look at that brick. That's going to be a nice, when I go in, should I do Christmas? I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to do some kind of something. This is going to be a shadow box, and I want to use it. Usually you would do a shadow box this way, but I want to do something this way. And I know some things that are coming up from IOD next week. So I may or may not be prepping this to use with some IOD on Thursday. And I will be going live. Is it Thursday? So you guys, I don't know. So I will be going live with IOD so that I can reveal all the new stuff to you guys. But I haven't done it in a while. So if you've been with me for a while, you guys know I show up, I bring a tape measure, I open everything up. Like I'll cast the molds. You guys can see what those will look like. I can measure the individual items that come out of the molds. So it's really just like an informational kind of session. So if you have questions about any part of any product, I can answer them for you. And then if I have time, I'll do a project. So
Megan said yes, Thursday. Lynn says top secret, Royce.
I know I'm not telling anything. I'm just making suggestions.
And Lynn also asked, what are the two dark rectangles?
The two dark rectangles.
Maybe it was on that.
Oh, in that piece. You know what, Lynn? It's just pieces of wood that are on there. And so I have to figure out, like, these basically, I think he used these because it's slatted on the bottom. Know what I'm saying? So I think he used these to brace those. And so I'm going to probably paint those. Either I'll paint them to match the brick or I'll just paint them black. I haven't decided yet. It may depend on what I'm going to end up doing with the box ultimately. But I think this black is going to be a really nice industrial background for the scene that I set up in here.
Dorothy says make it grungy so you can change for the seasons.
Oh, I know, huh? I can put different stuff in there. So I've had this, Lynn and I, we were talking about these. Lynn, this was the one I was telling you about. And Lynn did not part with any of hers. She wasn't that nice, but we did talk about it. And I probably should have done a better job of cleaning this. Let me brush this out. It's a little rusty. But this is I bought this in Tennessee at the 127 sale, like in 2019, you guys. And I've had it since then. And I don't want to do a ton to it because I'll use it to help display. I am a person, you guys, I collect stuff and I do not want it to have it like in a box somewhere in storage. So in my living room, I have a lot of displays, and this is a perfect way. If you see something like this, it is a beautiful way for you to display a collection. I may even, I noticed in one of Lynn's boxes that she had some like little shelves in there, which just gives you like more opportunity. And I may have George put a shelf in this for me after I decoupage it. I'm going to drive you guys a little bit crazy because I'm using an old recycled decoupage paper. This is one of my Halloween. I don't know which one it was. I was going to look it up, but I can't remember. But it's one of my old Halloween papers. I haven't done Halloween. I don't know why in a few years. And this one was a Halloween Project Blocks. I don't remember. I think this one was the second one, I believe. And look, I was able to find like an apothecary decoupage page. It says apothecary right there on the top. And then I have my heart and my, my flowers that I kind of made go together. This was difficult, but I was very happy when I got it done. So I think this would be a beautiful backdrop. It'll be nice and warm. And then anything that I put on here will just look beautiful. I do have one thing to work out with this piece though. I don't know if George is going to be able to help me. Maybe you guys can help me. I'm missing a leg over here. It wasn't broken. At some point, this piece of trim came off. I'm so sad. So if you guys have any idea how I can replace that, let me know. I mean, I can just hang it on the wall. I don't have to necessarily sit it, but it would be nice. I'm super sad. I spilled some Wise Owl 1 hour enamel in my studio, and it splashed on this piece. I'm super sad about this because I love this wood and I really don't want to paint it, but I may have to paint the base. I don't know.
Chickadee Cottage Creation says she thinks it's called Halloween Masterpiece.
Okay.
And Dorothy wants to know, is it still available?
It is. So what happens is they rotate out after the season is over. But if I have a really popular design that customers love, I'll make it available again for my retailers. And this is one of the designs, I believe, that was made available, I hope. And a lot of times retailers still have paper, even if I'm not producing anymore, they may still have the paper. So that's what I said. I'm going to drive you guys a little bit crazy because I can't guarantee you can get the paper, but I'm pretty sure you can. Oh man, I'm gonna have to cut my butterflies. But I think that this is nice, and it's like neutral enough that it'll go with whatever I put in here. You know what I mean? But, and I know that I'm saying that this paper was for Halloween, but this is my aesthetic all year round. And so, I make these for Halloween, but the reality is if your aesthetic is kind of that dark academia aesthetic, these papers, really, you can use them all year round. I'm going to cut this a little bit bigger than I need because I'm not confident in how I trim that.
Lourdes says try Crud Cutter Paint Remover.
Yeah.
It's a liquid and it's made specifically for when we accidentally get paint on it.
Okay. This 1 hour enamel is an enamel paint, and that's why I'm a little nervous that it may not come off unless I go in with a complete, like como se dice, like a paint remover. But if I go in with a paint remover, then it's gonna strip all this beautiful patina from this wood, which is gonna make me cry.
So Wendy Purdy asked, can you sand the primer off?
I don't know. Oh, you know what, Wendy? I can. I'm gonna run into the same problem though. I guess it's better than painting it. But my thing is, you guys see how like over time there's a patina to this old wood. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to. I'll just have to sand it off and then go in with dark wax. It's gonna do the same thing, babe. It's gonna lift off all of that old because this probably isn't even varnish. I bet you they used what's the stuff made out of beetle wings? I know somebody else here knows. I just can't think of the name of it.
So a few people said they have the paper. Chickadee Cottage Creation says Aunt Bee's Attic has some.
Yeah, if you're a retailer and you're on tonight, please put your links in the comments so customers can find you.
Rhapsody Art Barn has some. This paper.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, a lot of times the retailers will have paper even if, I'm not producing it anymore, especially with the holiday designs. Oh, I wanted to keep that apothecary. I don't know. Because generally you guys only buy them for a short window.
And it's 610.
It's 610? Oh, this is perfect. I'm just going to decoupage this. Well, I have to paint it real quick and then decoupage it. So, and I know that I talk a lot about doing a light underpainting, but if I decoupage this right over this wood, the darkness of the wood will show through and it just kind of dampens the artwork that's on the paper. And I don't mind that this bottom is different because I'm going to have stuff sitting on here anyways, and it also has my heart sitting up a little higher. Look at that. I love that so much. Okay. So I'm going to just set this aside. Thank you for reminding me of it because I almost started painting. I wish that I had grabbed some white primer. So for something like this, I think the best case scenario is to use a stain blocking primer. And I use a lot of different brands, a lot of different things, but I will say that one of my favorite, like I have different things for different reasons. PintArt's bonding primer, love, 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 especially with my metal pieces. It makes any paint stick wonderfully. For a stain blocking primer, my personal favorite is Wise Owl's primer. It blocks like nobody's business. And I know that this is going to bleed. And so I really do want to use, you know what, I'm going to use paint though, just so I can show you guys what bleed looks like.
Okay, got a couple of things.
Yes.
Carrie. Oh, you're going to kill me.
And then I'll use a primer on top after the camera's gone. And then we may have to come back and decoupage this together another day because I forgot to bring a dryer. And with stain blocking primer too. So stain blocking primer, I'm going to give you guys a mini lessons. A lot of times people will say if you use chalk style paint, you don't need to use primer or prep your surface. And that's partially true. If your only concern is how well your paint is going to adhere to your surface, then that's true. But the reality is primer takes care of several issues. Adhesion is just one of them. Primer also can lock back stains and or finishes that are really old. So if you have a piece that's been sealed, but it's chipping off and there's an oil-based stain underneath, that could bleed through your paint. If you have a piece that has any exposed wood, wood has natural oils in it called tannins, and old wood, those tannins can bleed through and ruin your painting. And then another reason that I like to use primers is also for coverage. When you're working with colors like red or any jewel tones, you guys, if you've ever painted red before, I do not have to tell you how difficult it is to get coverage. And when you're painting red over white, forget about it, right? So you can use a colored primer like a gray primer when you're using a red or jewel tones, which will help you get like coverage a lot easier. So yes, using a chalk style paint does like increase the odds of you're not having adhesion issues about 99%. But if you have something that's going to bleed, it's going to bleed right through that chalk paint. So when you're using a stain blocking primer though, you don't want to just put your primer and then paint right away. You really want to give your primer at least a few hours to do its job. And you want to make sure that you can inspect the primer to make sure that you don't have to do a second coat. So if I do a coat of primer, a stain blocking primer, and right away I see tannins bleeding through, I already know I'm going to have to put on another coat of primer. But I'm still going to let that dry for at least 3 hours, you guys, because you really want to give that primer an opportunity to do its job, which is to lock in and lock those stains away. And then I would go in with a second coat. So I don't want to rush and do this back and then have to deal with bleed through, because I really do want my artwork to be like the center of this project. So I am going to go through with white paint. I am like 90% sure that this is going to have some bleed through. So we'll get to see. Maybe it'll bleed through now, maybe it'll do it later. And that's another thing about bleed through too. Sometimes it doesn't show up right away. I remember I finished this piece. I was so proud. I think it was the first piece I had done like a blended paint finish on, and I had used transfers on. It was so pretty. And about freaking a week later, I start seeing these orange, what looked like bruises on my furniture. I was just mortified. I was so sad. And from that day, from hence day forth, no, I'm just kidding. Whenever I'm doing furniture, though, I legitimately, I like to prime first. And if you're working on something like bright, right, and white, you want to make sure that you're using a stain blocking primer.
All right, I'm going to play some catch up now.
Okay.
Somebody talked over me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was explaining.
It's okay. Let's see. Carrie Vladyaka Dekalb.
Oh, Carrie, yes.
Vladyka. I'm not sure. Vladyka says, and somebody else said this too. Jerry, Peter both say, what about magic eraser to take that off the bottom?
Oh, I can try that.
Then you were asking about what's made from the bee thing or whatever. Flea and Lynn both said lacquer.
Thank you.
Catherine.
Yeah,
Catherine
a lot of
Lakowski said shellac.
Shellac, lacquer, yes. Though a lot of old pieces, that's what they use to seal them with, right?
All right. Tucson Youngsters also has the paper. Carrie DeKalb says she has creative studio boxes that she clears out inventory, and lots of Royce papers go in each box. So she gave her website. Melissa Paget says Zinser BIN is great for odors and stains. Melissa also said and tannins. Fleece says primers can also help deal with smells.
Yes, and we know we're upcycling furniture. That can be an issue, right?
And Chickadee Cottage Creations, are you still doing whatnot?
You know what? I haven't been. It's funny that you asked me that question because I was thinking that maybe we should do one on Friday. I have to see if my husband's up for it.
Well, you know what? What I hope we have planned for Saturday.
I know.
If you're okay with not sending until that Monday.
Yeah, we can send on Monday.
Okay.
We have enough sales. We'll be okay.
Let me see if I have anything going on Friday.
I haven't been doing whatnot.
No,
but
my thing is Friday.
Oh,
Thursday,
your thing is
excuse me,
Thursday.
So I'm free Friday.
But I'm thinking about doing a whatnot on Friday. What do you guys think? You guys tell me. Because we have stuff. We have stuff. And I can probably get George to make, I know you guys love it when George makes project pieces too. So I can probably get him to make a few things for Christmas. And I have a huge bottle collection. I'm so pitiful, you guys. We go to this yard sale, right? And this guy has this sale. And he says, I'm like, how much for the bottles? And he wouldn't give me a piecemeal price. He's like, if you buy them, you have to buy them all. And I think I thought it was going to be 2 crates. When we went to south of town to that one guy.
Yep. Where our granddaughter
had so much fun.
She was both intrigued and put off by ducks and turkeys.
Yes. And there weren't any geese because geese are mean.
There were geese, but they ran away from them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think she had a good time with those turkeys.
She did. She with the turkey, yes.
Yes.
The turkey was friendly.
And so I'm thinking it's going to be the 2 crates I'm asking about. And we start loading them in the car, and it's like crate after crate after crate after crate. So I started going through this crate. You know what, babe? I'm going to drive you absolutely crazy.
What's that?
Can you hand me that measuring cup right there for me, please? And so I have this huge bottle collection, and I've even taken out all my favorite ones, and I still have like that measuring cup right there.
Yes, I was just standing.
Oh, I thought you were like, over. I know. We don't want that to happen. I just want to kind of show them like, so look at these. How cute. Are these like miniature bottles? And this is just like one. These are all the ones I pulled out because they're minis and they'll fit like really easily, into one of my little. And then of course you guys know I pulled out the amber bottles, right? But this is like nothing. Anyways, so that's why I was thinking I would do a whatnot because I have tons, and I have a ton of like apothecary bottles in there too.
Yvette Santee says, explain the whatnot.
So Yvette, darling, whatnot is a 24-hour, I almost said raffle, and now I can't think of the right word. Auction site where you can find anything. And when I mean anything, I mean anything. And so we started about 2 years ago. It's funny because in my memories, our first whatnot auction came on, but I haven't done it in about 6 months. And so for me, I sell vintage items. We sell once a year, my assistant and I will go through my scrap wood pile, and he'll make like upcycled craft supplies. And so we sell those. And then I also sell some things that I've made, on some of my videos. So it's a mixture: books, salvaged wood, bottles, old vintage items. I don't know, just whatever I have, whatever I find in my own stash. And we just emptied one of our storage units. And so I have a lot of stuff here that I didn't see. Well, y'all know it goes to storage and I forget about it. Sad, but true. And so we have a lot of stuff here from storage that was brought over. And so that's why I'm thinking that we should do a whatnot sell because there's some really cool stuff in there.
Angie says ephemera.
Oh yeah, Angie, and I sell ephemera too. Which can I tell y'all something? I sold so many pages of my help me out, baby. The book where people
Ledger.
Thank you. Sold so many ledger pages, and I'm sad about that. Like I'm not running low on my ledger pages, but now that I'm doing artwork on ledger pages, I'm getting a little nervous because I need to find another ledger book, and I'm kind of sad about selling all those pages. That's the only thing about selling your stash is once it's gone, it's gone. What time is it? 6:22. I don't have my dryer with me. Um, you know what? I think there's a dryer by the couch. Go. You want to go get it? You want me to go get it? Okay. So I can. This will be a quick decoupage, babe. We should be done like maybe 6:35 because I want to see this done, and I'm not seeing any bleed through. And I think if it bleeds through this one, I won't be like heartbroken either, just because of the aesthetic of it. But my piece on the top did break off. I'm kind of sad about that. I think you guys think I can replace that with a mold to like add another ornate piece right there. What do you guys think? Thank you, babe. Flea. Some of us are very grateful. Oh, how am I gonna plug it up? That's a whole nother discussion.
Somebody said that the auctions go fast. We set them for 30 seconds and you get an extra 10 seconds every time somebody makes a bid.
Yeah, we don't do the drop dead on ours. So everyone has a chance to bid, but you do have to.
She's
like,
going to keep talking even though she's away from the microphone.
Okay.
So what that means is once you get to 10 seconds, if somebody makes a bid, it adds another 5 or 10 seconds. So as long as bids are coming in, the auction continues.
Yeah, some people do drop dead bids, which is like 30 seconds, boom. And we did that the first show. We didn't know any better.
Yeah, there are some that do 10s.
Oh my gosh. They usually have like a ton of stuff though.
Honestly, if I do one again, because I've been thinking about it, but I'm waiting till it cools down so I can go through my storage.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to do 10s.
You're going to do 10?
10 drop deads.
Oh.
Just get it out. Because you saw the last time I did one with comic books.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With the comic books, you have so many.
Yeah.
And people know what they want in your world, too.
Correct.
I think it's a little bit different with the comic books than it is, you know.
It really is.
But yeah, I love it, too. And if you watch me, so like I have a whole stack of like the sap buckets, for instance. So sometimes you'll watch us makers and we're making stuff and you're like, okay, that's fine, but I don't have that stuff. So you can go to Whatnot and you can find like some of the salvage finds that you guys see us using on our videos. So that makes it fun too, I think.
Chickadee says use a mold. Tucson Junkster says, would you bend? Carrie says use a mold. Deborah Bird says, is that a clock shell? I never find good stuff like that.
This is a clock shell, and I found this literally 2019, you guys. Was that 7 years ago? It's actually probably 7 years ago to the date because it was at the 127 sale in Tennessee is where I found this. And I do have the workings of this clock, but they're displayed separately because you guys know I love gears and it was brass. I mean, everything was like pieces when I got it, but I have the clock face and I do have the workings, but they're all displayed separately. Like somebody thought this was trash. Can you believe that? Because it was broken.
Felice says she primed and decoupaged an enamel tray, but rust is bleeding. I love it. And Kathleen Huga says 2 scroll molds would look good.
Oh yeah, huh? And so I am going to be doing, let's see, we have 3 more lives this month plus Mondays. So on Sundays, you guys are probably likely going to be working with a lot of molds over the next month because I got my wish and I have a Megan. And so we're working with molds this month. So if you have any questions about molds, I should put something on my page. I think I will. I'll put a post. That way, if you have a question about molds, maybe I'll make a project to answer your question. So I'll be using likely resin, which you guys know is my personal favorite product to use in molds. I do have some clay that I'll be using in the molds. I I'm trying to think because we do a lot of experimenting inside of our membership. And I think that there was something else that we experimented with. You guys can remind me because I know some of you guys are here, um, that we experimented with molds too. And everything that you use like has a benefit, like has a plus and a minus to it. Um, some things I want to look like really crisp, and I love the resin because you pour it in like liquid, right? So it goes into all those cracks and crevices, and you get all the details beautifully. But the clay gives you a lot of flexibility, especially if you're wanting to use it, to be pliable. But I also know that Pint Art has a couple of new products used in the mold, including one that cures and stays pliable. So we'll be playing this month with all things molds, and we'll be playing with the different products. Should I be brave? I am going to put another coat of paint though. I wasn't like super duper. I'm being a little crazy here today. Only because I'm on this table. I'm spoiled, you guys. I'm used to being in my shed where I have like 50 million craft supplies, but I'm back. And you guys, how many of you guys have been with me since like the beginning when I was like in the living room and you could hear my mom talking in the background? For those of you who are new, my mom had dementia, and she always thought that I was talking to her, I think. So she would be like answering me, or she'd be snoring, and you could hear that too. But she was my mommy, so it was part of the deal. But I would always forget something, like every time, because I literally had to set up my table every time I went live, right? Because I didn't have a dedicated space to go live in. And so sometimes I think when things like this happens, it really is just a reminder for us to be grateful for where we are. And so I'm just going to take this time of no AC in the cooler as an opportunity to remember how much of a blessing it is that I have my little she shed that I'm able to create in, and where all my craft supplies live. We do have a smaller cooler in there now, and it's enough to keep the products like safe, but not me. I need it to be a little cooler than that.
Kathleen Hoovis said, I saw an artist that used toilet paper in the molds.
Yes, you can use paper and like PVA glue or like school glue. Super cool. The first one I saw do that was Lisa, I believe. But since then, I've seen other people do it. And I forgot Lisa's business page. So
Melissa Paget used hot glue in the mold.
So
said it's harder to paint.
I I gotta try it. I'm not gonna say I can't do the hot glue. I have to try harder with the hot glue. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with it. Getting the molds full already, all the way. But I think maybe I'm using the wrong hot glue. I think if you use the high temp hot glue, that you have better odds of getting, your molds filled properly. So it is not my personal favorite, but I do know that some people love it though. And I get it because you take it out and it's still bendable. I'm gonna try this really quickly and then we will decoupage. And I got paint on the sides. I'll just take some rubbing alcohol though and get that off because I just got that on. It can come off. Um, I'm just gonna sand this off, I think, and then I'll go over it with dark wax and hopefully I can restore that kind of aged patina. I am such a you guys, I'm crazy. I'll find something and like I'll clean it, but I don't want to get rid of the age of the item. And so like even with my silver, I hate when they put stickers on the front because then you have to clean it and you lose all that patina. People. Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
Melissa says it does take a long time to fill and I'm going to switch to air dry clay.
Yeah, the air dry clay is really good too. we actually, so inside of our membership, the Recycle Besties membership, and I know that this isn't like for everybody, but we do like these super deep dives on one like process, right? And we explore different products, different processes, different approaches. And so when we were doing like clay, I think we spent like 6 or 8 weeks, which sounds crazy, but we looked at like 4 different brands of clay: paper clay, air dry clay, and we looked at different brands of clay. We did clay in molds, we did clay with resin, we did, I'm trying to think, I know some of my members are in here. So we do all these experiments. And so you get to, I get to spend money on all this stuff and you guys can watch and see how it turns out. And then also, it's a collective experiment. So it's not just me. I do show up with a lesson and what I'm going to do, but often one of my membership members will ask a question that will send us like down a whole new rabbit hole or a whole new um, experiment. So, like with our different kinds of texture mediums we've been working with, I was looking at like how the color would work with each of them, and then one of the members was like, "Well, that sample cracked. How come that cracked and the others didn't crack?" And so I was like, "Oh, well, let's look at that." And then we realized that the more like deeper we put the product down, the more likely it was to crack. And so it's been super fun because we find out like if I want an intense color, then this is going to be the best product to use. But if I want something that looks more like old age, old world, then this is probably the best product to use. One of the products we used became pre-mixed, which was wonderful. And some of them we had to mix ourselves, which that came with some plus and minuses. So we take like these super deep dives and we do experiments so that we can learn. And then I think that gives us like the ability to make educated decisions when we're making our projects as far as what product we want to use or what approach we want to take when we're creating. And so my membership is not project based, it really is process based. So if you like doing experiments and learning like a lot about different things, then my membership is for you. But if you're interested in making like beautiful projects, you'll be disappointed. Don't come to my membership because that's not what I do there. Just being completely transparent about what to expect. Okay. And you can find the information about the membership at recycledacademy.com as well. I know I have a QR code there somewhere. I'm going to trim this a little bit more. I was a little chicken when I trimmed it. So I'm going to trim it a little bit closer. And I'm probably the most excited about this piece, I think. And hopefully next week, Megan, did you put that one thing in my box? We'll explore like making shadow boxes in a way that's like more accessible for you guys, right? Because some of you are thinking, okay, this is nice, Royce, but where do I find one of these? So I may have a way for you guys to be able to make your own. And because we have mold, you can make it as ornate as you want it to be. Okay. So again, I'm going to use I'm trying to think of where I want to start. I think I'm going to start at the top because it's going to be kind of difficult.
You're at 636.
I know, Daddy. I'm gonna decoupage super quick. Or no, should I not decoupage? What do you think? You gotta work in the morning. Can I just decoupage this real quick?
It's up to you.
Okay. I'm gonna decoupage this super quick and then we'll sign off. But look at how fabulous. Oh, I'm in love. I'm in love. Even like how it's sitting up high, I'm in love with that. I might go in and deepen this a little bit too, to even make it more obvious that it's different, because I'm loving that too. So I am going to mist my paper, and then I think I'm going to start at the top. Maybe I should start at the bottom. I'm thinking I'll start at the bottom because the bottom is what's going to be readily seen. And so it's going to be kind of more important that the bottom is really nice. And if I make any mistakes up top, no one's probably going to see the top anyways. So I'm going to mist, and then we'll decoupage. And I'm using, oh, I didn't put my thing on Do Not Disturb. I'm using Pintar's Decoupage Varnishing Glue. I'm using matte because you guys know I like matte. But if you're someone who likes glossy, you can absolutely use glossy on your projects. And so I like to mist my paper and let it chill for a few minutes so that it really can expand. And the reason I mist the paper is so that when it comes into the contact of the moisture of my decoupage medium, it doesn't wrinkle because it's already stretched out. And when I first started teaching this method, I was really focused on, I think in the second iteration of my decoupage masterclass is when I taught this. It was more about misting the parts of your paper that you weren't decoupaging so that it would stretch with the rest of the paper. But then after I realized, well, why not just mist all of it? And then all of it will stretch and you won't get any wrinkles. I apologize. I'm getting texts for some reason, even though my family knows I'm live every Sunday. And once this row is down, like I'm confident that everything is going to lay down properly, so I don't have to be like as cautious. I am being super careful to only put decoupage medium where I want the paper to stick because this is going up along the side a little bit. I could have trimmed it a little bit closer, but as long as I don't tack it down, I can come in later after everything dries and I can use my blade to trim that. So you guys know when I went to New York, I was asking about food. So the first thing I had in Buffalo, of course, was buffalo wings. So we went and had some buffalo wings in New York. They were good. And then there was a sandwich. I forget the name of it. You guys tell me what's the name of that sandwich that is it's kind of like a Italian beef baby, but a little bit different. I forget the name of it. That was okay. Um, I think the best thing we ate, we went to this one restaurant on Main Street in Medina. Or was that Main Street? It was on the same street that Lynn's store is on, I think. Their downtown area was so beautiful. The buildings, the streets were super wide, and their population is smaller than ours, babe. And their main street was bigger than ours. I think that's interesting.
How close are the neighboring communities?
Like 45 minutes, like us. Yeah, I think it's just because they're older. Like, I'm thinking. I mean, there's a lot of farmland around Medina.
I mean, it's possible in upstate New York, but that's the thing with a lot of the East Coast and Midwest is it's why everything feels so far away.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's just towns everywhere. So I've always said this, it's 90 minutes from Chicago to Milwaukee,
Mm-hmm.
and that felt like a day trip.
90 minutes felt
We
like a
would
day
plan a
trip.
day to go to Milwaukee, and it's like, it's 90 minutes.
Oh my
And for
gosh.
us, that's not even halfway to Phoenix.
I know. Well, I mean, we don't just drive to Phoenix just because either. We go when we have to go.
I know, but
And my family already knows anytime past between June and October, I will not be going to Phoenix. It is too dang hot. Not unless I like have to go, but I will not be going by choice. You guys see how I put medium on my brush and I use that when I'm decoupaging. So I'm like decoupaging, I'm like adhering and sealing my paper at the same time. And I was thinking, so as a Black woman, one of the things we talk about when we're doing our hair is slip. So our hair is super coily. So when we comb it out, we like to put like conditioner or something in it so that it will slide through our hair easier. And I think when I put the medium on my brush, it glides across the top of my paper easier. It's kind of the same thing. I just thought about that right now. So having product on my brush gives me extra slip on my brush so that it glides over my paper a lot easier. I'm giving you guys insider information. Are you reading text from the kids, baby?
Yeah, Don wanted HBO code.
Oh, now he's gonna ruin. I'm not gonna be able to watch the new Dragon show.
You can watch it.
Oh,
He's watching it now.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. When I put my medium down, I always look from the side, you guys, because even when you think you've put medium everywhere, you haven't. And so I'm being super cautious, looking from the side, making sure I have full coverage. Because if you get bubbles in your decoupage, that's more than likely why, because you have a space where either you didn't put any medium or you didn't put enough. That's another thing. So let me mist that. I should have misted that so it could have been chilling while I was doing the other piece. And then I put medium on my brush, and I like working from one side to the other too because I can push out air bubbles. And at my class, I underestimated how much time it was going to take for everyone to decoupage their projects. We had some ladies who had never decoupaged before. So I think I'll make the project smaller for the next class. Dorothy, you were there. What do you think? I mean, I love them. What I did was I created like a wall art that people could make and they could paint them and then hang them on their wall. If you were at my class and you got home and your project is curling up, just roll it up the opposite way or lay it down and put something heavy on it and then it will be fine. But that is it for this one. So we worked on several projects today, I know, but I think this was my favorite one. Surprise, surprise. Look at that. Isn't it going to be fabulous? And it's going to dry matte, so there won't be any shininess on here. And now I think I am going to put some little shelves on here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have George put little holes in here, and I can just buy those little furniture pegs. That way I can move my shelves up and down depending on what I want to display in here. I think that's what I'm going to do. George doesn't know it yet, but that's what he's going to do for me. So you guys know what I'm saying? So we'll do 2 holes. I'll probably do several pairs of holes equally on both sides. And then you can just put little pegs on them and sit your tray on it. But you can move your pegs up and down so that when you change what you're displaying, you'll have the options on how high your shelves are. I think that's what we're going to do. I am pretty sure. Oh, that's a good tip. Do we have any questions, babe?
Are you still thinking about doing pinners?
It's a conversation, Dorothy. We'll see. I do miss doing it. We'll see. We have a lot of announcements coming up in the next like 3 to 4 months, so I'm excited about all of it. So we'll see what happens. And it's not going to be this year, though. I will tell you that. There's enough happening already this year. But if we do, it'll likely be next year.
That's what I've got, but I don't know if I'm getting updates. Because YouTube's been on the same thing for at least half an hour.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So Catherine says when you wet your when you wet your paintbrush for gluing, wet them first. It'll be easier to clean them out. Oh, that's a good tip, Catherine. Thank you. You're not seeing YouTube? Let me go up then and make sure we haven't missed anything. I know Tammy and Jackie came and helped me. I was so grateful when we did pinners. And then I also had Claudia who came from all the way from Colorado I don't know why people are so nice to me, babe.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I'm blessed, and they are. I'm so grateful. Let's see. House of Dragons, yes, Catherine, on HBO. I haven't watched it either because I've been so busy. Um, but you guys know how I watch TV. The TV is on, and I'm doing something, and I'm listening to the TV. That's how I watch TV. But I haven't listened to House of Dragons. I drive David crazy because I'm up and down doing stuff, and then I come back and I ask him, like, "Well, who is that? Well, why did she do that?"
All right.
Okay, I think that's it. I am so happy with this one. Should I go in and grunt it up, you guys? I'm thinking, I don't know. Let's wait to see. I'll wait to see if there's any bleed through. That I might have some natural grunge going on. And then if there isn't, you guys know I want to go in and put like a halo around here. So I'll wait till this dries completely. We'll get it all trimmed out. We'll see what kind of tannins that might bleed through. And then we'll make a final decision about that. And I will try and see if George can do that for me so I can show you guys next week like how it works, because you can buy a whole pack of little metal pegs to do what I'm saying, and I think that that would just be really cool for this because it would give me options for what I display in here. So we have our clock body that we decoupage today. um, we have this piece that may or may not be prepped for IOD. We finished our um, cheese box today, and we just sanded off the excess paint and we grunged it up. So now it's done. And we finished um, our leather look tray. And if Megan is still here, I know it's late for them, she can give you the link to the kit that I use. And in the listing, it doesn't show everything that goes with the kit. So I want to show you guys what you get. You do get the gold decor paint. You get the burgundy chalky paint. You get the glaze that goes along with it, and you also get a varnish that goes along with it. And so you do get all four items. Megan, if you're here, correct me, but I think that's all that comes with the kit, right? So that you can make this. And I know that these are small, which is nice actually because you get to experiment to see if you like it first before you buy larger jars. But also, you use so little paint, it goes a long way. And so we use the leather effect on the edges of this tray to make it look like leather. And we also used it on the bookish mold here, and we used it here, and we actually pushed stamps in there and embossed it first, and we did kind of the leather effect, but I picked up a little bit more of the glaze, so more of that gold would show through. So if you guys are interested in that, you can let me know, and we will be doing a project next week where we'll be experimenting on different um, leather effects that you can make. I'll be live a lot this week because I'll be live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for our Mad Scientist Monday. Please join us. I play a game. I have to pull 4 prompts and I have to make a project, and I legitimately do not know what I'm going to pull before we meet. I'll be live Thursday for the IOD launch, and for the Recycle Besties, we'll be meeting Wednesday evening for the first time in what feels like a very long time. So that's all I have, unless you can think of anything else, babe. No?
No.
Thank you guys so much. You could do book molds
show
on the
your,
grain boards.
Show your luggage. That was asked.
Oh, the luggage. Dorothy wanted to see my luggage. Okay. So before I left for my trip, you guys, it's a long story, but I ended up with an extra day because I thought I was leaving a day earlier than I was. And I couldn't rest because you guys know how it is when you're getting ready to go on a trip. Your mind is thinking about all the things. And if you're neurodivergent, which I know a lot of you guys are like me, you guys already know how we do, right? So I could not rest. Will you take these, babe? I want to make sure I don't knock that over. Thank you. And so I primed my suitcase and I did a sketch. Oh my goodness. I don't know, babe. Maybe let me do my front facing camera. That might be easier. Hold on, y'all. And I will show you guys my suitcase I painted. And so I did the sketch before I left, and then oh Lord, okay. And then I painted it in the hotel room over the course of the 7 days of travel. And so this is where she is. I still need to fix her mouth. I don't like it. Her teeth look like Tic Tacs. So I need to fix that. But she's coming out pretty good. And I used her as a carry-on, so she only got checked once. So it didn't even get messed up. I thought it would get messed up a little bit, and that would be part of the story. But she didn't get messed up. So we'll see. I gotta finish her mouth and figure out how to give her some lashes, and then she'll be done. But that's my suitcase. Thank you, Chris. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed our craziness. We'll probably be in the kitchen for a while because I have to get my unit in my studio is not like a little tiny window unit. That's what's in there now, just for right now. I actually need to get it like a bigger kind of split level, which is not cheap. So we'll probably be in the kitchen for a while, but hopefully you guys will enjoy our crafting and our chatting. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys remember there isn't anything here that you guys cannot absolutely make. You guys can do this today. And we're always experimenting. We're always growing creatively because where experimentation goes, creativity follows. So please make time to play and experiment and ask yourself what happens if. You guys have a blessed night, and I'll be live tomorrow morning. So maybe I'll see you here. Good night.